friends, welcome back again. So happy you popped over again to see what I am up to today. For everyone who is new here, welcome. My name is Janny and I hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, I hope you take a little bit of inspiration with you. For everyone here who is not subscribed to my channel, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and of course, hit the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. Like I always say, enough talking and let's jump into today's inspiration.
And you see already on my table are the things we need. We need our tumbling tile blocks, some paint at your choice. I have here my container with everything I need for DIYing. That's of course the most important is the wood glue, the mud pot, some brushes, scissors, markers, everything we need. Of course I have a saucer and an old piece of kitchen towel I always have laying around to wipe away the glue. And like I said, I use the wood glue, but you can use some hot glue, but I don't recommend it because normally a lot of work with hot glue falls apart. But you can do it of course also together, a little bit of hot glue together with some wood glue. So be my guest, do whatever you think it's right. So this is what we need, what we're going to make for today. We are going to make a piano, but an old-fashioned piano. Of course, it has to be a home decor piece for in my home. So we will see how this will turn out. So we are going to start with the back side of our piano. And this will be a piano which is really a standing up piano. I don't know if I say it right. At least we are going to make 5 blocks together. So this will be a lot of counting, but I hope at the end that it will look very nice. And this is 1, number 2, and place them immediately against each other. And number 4 and number 5 is the closure up. You're going to squeeze it, give it a little bit of pressure. Of course, you can use a metal hook like I always say, but I do it always with my fingers. But you can do anything which is fitting for you and which is easy for you to work with. So I'm not going to tell you what you must do because you can choose for yourself which is the best. And of course, this is already number 2 of 5. And we're going to go for number 3 of 5. Like this. And we're going to again do some on the longer side. I do it as fast as I can. And number 4, squeeze it. And of course, we're going to work with it in a moment. We're just going to place them together. And number 5. So, and we are almost there for one side. Number 3 and number 4. And again, squeeze it, press it together. And the last of 5 for one side. We are going to do 1, number 2, and number 3, and number 4, and squeeze it, press it. And now we're going to give it a little bit of whitening because we don't want the glue too much coming out. Over here, and then we're going to make sure that we have a straight line before they really dry in. And again over here, this one needs a little bit of straightening out, and here also. And then we're going to give this 5 a couple of minutes. So I gave the first 5 a couple of minutes drying and they are standing up right now. Now we're going to get another piece of 5. And again, we do the same procedure like we did with the first side. And number 4 and number 5 is the closure up again. We're going to have 3 and 2 extra over here. And this is number 2 and number 3 and number 4. And again, place them aside. And of course, I do it fast, but you can have all the time you need for it. This is 1, number 2, 3 and number 4. And again, squeeze them. And of the almost last, and I have here 3, and these are all we need for the sides. Number 2, place them together, and this one, we go over here, and then we have both of the sides of the back side of the piano, and over here. And I think a lot of you already know the old-fashioned way to have a piano, and I always was looking for someone to fit in my decor, but of course I don't have the room for a really big one. I wish I did, but we don't have that kind of houses where you can place easily a big piano. So I'm going to make just a short one. I'm going to give this a couple of minutes drying also. So if everything is correctly, you have 10 pieces of 5. What we're going to do with the first 5, we're going to lay them down and this way. And then we're going to look for which one is fitting the best to each other. You see already, sometimes you have to change them up. Maybe you can turn him and maybe he will fit better, maybe he doesn't. If this is fitting better, this one is fitting better. And this one, yeah, of course, yeah, I go for this one. Of course, do them a little bit out of each other. Place this one on the side, place this one on the side and this one. And the last, we do some glue. Very easy, a line over here, a line over here, and a line on number 4. We're going to easily place them together. And this way we make one longer piece of wood. And we're going to squeeze it. And this way give it a little bit of pressure so everything can stick together. If it goes apart, don't worry, wood glue is so easy to work with and you can redo it at least, I think at least a half hour still, but of course we don't wait a half hour, but you see, you can easily squeeze, push and make sure that you have a nice plank. This is already number 1. We're going to place this aside and let it dry. And we go for the second one. Of course, place it over here. And over here and over here. Then we're going to place them down and we're going to look for if we have a nice fitting or not, because that's important, or else you get a lot of open gaps. And I do them over here. And it doesn't matter if it falls apart. Sometimes one of these pieces falls apart. It doesn't matter. You can easily put it together again. And again, some glue over here and over here. And now we're going to, I think here's a little bit too less of glue. Of course, be sure that every block has some glue because you don't want that your piece is falling apart. Again, place them together. And this one down. And this one down. And then we already have the sides of our piano. And we're going to squeeze it. And I make it together with you, so I don't have any clue how he will turn out also. So it's just a surprise for me, as it will be for you. So I feel with my finger to make sure that I have a nice straight line. Here it needs a little bit of readjusting. And now I'm going to let both of their pieces dry. These are the sides of the back side, and now we're going to make the front and the back side of the back side. That's a difficult. So we're going to go to the 2 bigger parts because they are really big. We are going to take 10 blocks. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to glue them together. The same like we did with the 5 blocks. Just in the longer side of your block. But don't worry, I won't do everything together with you because this will take so much of your time and that's not what we're going to do. So I'm going to show you 1 row of the 10 and then we're going to do the rest a little faster, of course. This is already number 1 of 10. So we're going to wipe away the glue we don't need. We're going to redo it. And we're going to place it aside over here. And now we're going to make 10 pieces of 10. So 10 pieces of 10. You will see me doing that in a little bit faster way. And you see already on my table are the 10 pieces of 10. Of course, I did look already for if they are fitting nicely. So I'm going to place this one aside, this one on the side, and this one on the side. We're going to do here the same. on the side, on the side. And we're going to do first this row is some glue. And over here, make sure that you have every block over here. And the last. And we're going to place this one down against each other. So we make a one big wooden plank. Of course, this one. And the last one. And you see already, everything is already falling down on me. So we're going to squeeze it this way. And make sure that you have a nice straight line as can be. Sometimes you have to move a little. This is already number one. Of course, we place this straight up again. It's always against me. So we're going to do the second row. And this is 1, 2, and number 3. And the last, number 4. And also over here, we're going to place them together. We're going to place this one. And number 4. And number 5. And of course you understand that this will need a little time to dry. So we're going to give it at least a half hour before we're going to put all the pieces together. Because now we have the base of the piano from the back side. So we're going to give it a half hour and then we're going to glue it together. So in the meantime, while the two sides and of course the back side and the front side of the base is drying, we are going to make the bottom for the base and the top of the base. Of course, the piano on the top side need to be closed. So we are going to get 11 blocks, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. Yeah. I have it right because or else I have a different number and that's not what we want. It doesn't fit. So we're going to do a row of 11 blocks. And you see already it is an easy DIY. It's only a lot of counting. But at the end I hope he will look nice. And I never made a piano before, so we will see how this will turn out. And I would like to do it also that it is a kind of a real piano, but then in small for home decor. We're going to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if everything is correctly, this one is fitting nicely. Yes, it does. And we have the second row. Then we already have the top of our piano. He will be closed and he has a little overlay because I like that he's coming over the top a little, but you can make it fitting, but I'm just doing a little piece over. You will see that in a moment. Again, make a straight line and we're going to squeeze it. And of course we hope that it doesn't jump out because sometimes the blocks are, they are sometimes all over the table. And you see, we're going to wipe away the glue we don't need. And we're going to, oh, you see already, we're going to place this on the top because this needs to dry. And again, redo it. We're going to wipe our mat because everything is sticking. And this one we also move over here. And even when you move it, be sure that you check it if it doesn't did go out of line, because that's not what you want if it dries up. So you want to have a nice straight piece. And I'm going to make a second one of 11 blocks. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. This is another one. And of course 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So I have again 2 pieces because we also need a bottom. But I do this a little faster. Now we have our 4 pieces of 11. We're going to place one on the side. We do some glue on the line because we want to make a big piece out of it. And we're going to place it down and we're going to glue them on top of each other. Make sure that you have a nice straight line and press everything together until one piece. You do here the same, place it on the side. And if it breaks, it doesn't matter because you can easily glue it together again. and this way, and we're going to place it down, and we're going to squeeze them in one straight line also on top of here. And now we're going to give them also a half-hour rest. So now we're going to put the 4 pieces together for the base, and that we're going to take one of the smaller ones, so the one with 5 blocks and a row 5, so 5 and 5 high. So this is one. We're going to get a bigger one, this one, and we were going to glue this on top of the smaller one. So we're going to glue some glue over here, and we're going to place it on top of here. So very carefully, just let it fall down on top of here and let it go in the wood of the glue as on top of the now. You know what I mean. You just place it up so the glue can suck inside of the wood on the top over here. Oh my, English, English, English. We're going to get the second piece of wood, and I hope everything stays in one piece. We're going to do also some glue on this line again over here, and we're going to turn it over and place it on the other side. I have to look because I am over here. Yes, this is it, because I don't see what I'm doing. This is what I mean. Just feel with your fingers that you have a straight line on the side and over here. And now we're going to give this at least 10 minutes or 15 minutes rest. So we gave it 15 minutes rest, and of course it is still really not dry. So be careful if you glue the line on top of here. So, and if it falls apart, don't worry. You just glue it together again, because it's no big deal. You just start again. We're going to place this one on top of here, and make sure that you have it in a straight line. Over here, give it a little bit of pressure, and feel with your fingers again that you have it in the line you want to have it. Over here and over here. And now I'm going to get some paint cans, and I'm going to give it a pressure from the top. So this is what I mean. I just did 2 full paint cans on top of here to give it the pressure it needs to glue a little better on top of each other. So I give this a half hour. You see already I did the paint cans of my frame, and you see this is how it's looking like. This is the back side of our piano. What we're going to do, we're going to get our bottom and our top, because we want to glue them already on top of here. So we're going to place this over here, and I see already the mistake I made. You see already I didn't count that I needed also to count the sides. So we don't need 11 blocks, we need 12 blocks. So I also show you the mistakes. So we are going to do some glue on this side, and we're going to place it over here. And we do on this one also on one side, and we're going to place it over here. So squeeze it, and we just make it a little bit longer. We do here the same. Of course, I'm going to do it on this side because he is more flat. Over here, place it against here, and this one on the underside. So you see, you can always make mistakes, and you can easily work mistakes away. So now we're going to give this also a couple of minutes drying before we're going to glue everything on top of each other. So I gave it a couple of minutes. I'm going to get my frame, and I'm going to do some glue on top, and I glue the most of the glue on the inside. At least I'm going to try to do it on the inside as much as I can. Over here, oh, not totally on the inside, over here and around here, over here. Now we're going to turn it over. Of course, we need to do it also a little bit here, or else it doesn't glue. We're going to place it on top of here. We just let it fall down. Make sure that we have it in the middle as much as we can. Over here, give it a little bit of pressure if you have it on the spot you want to have it. And now we're going to give it a little bit of pressure from above, and we're going to let this dry a couple of minutes. So now I'm going to do the same on the top. I'm just going to do some glue, And you also can leave it open. If you like it open, then you can maybe do some greenery inside. You can do anything. You can also leave the top open, just loose over here. I'm going to close it, but you don't have to do that. Of course, I'm going to place this one also on top of here. Make sure that you have this one also in the middle, the same like you have with the other one. And we're going to give it 2 paint cans to give it some pressure. In the meantime, while our backside is drying, we are going to get 7 blocks, 4, 6, 7, and we're going to make a row out of it, because now we're going to work on the front side. Number 3, number 4, and number 5, and number 6, and number 7 is of course the closure up. We're going to squeeze it, make a straight line, and we do this 3 times. So this is already 1, this is 4, 5, 6, and 7, and we're repeating the same. And this is 1, number 3, 4, 5, and number 6. And again, make a straight line, squeeze it. Be sure that you checking it that you have a straight line, especially when you are going to let this dry. And this is the last one already. And then we already have the spot where you are playing the piano. I will have to look up how you call it. Here in the Netherlands we call it toetsen. So I don't know how you call it in English. I think key. Maybe the keyboard place, I think, if I'm correctly. So I'm going to squeeze it, wipe away the glue, and over here. And we're going to make a straight line. We're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So I was looking at my piano and I am still debating with myself. Now I have 7 blocks wide, but I think I'm going to go for all 3 of them for 8 wide. So I think he's a little bit more in perspective like I want to have it. So I'm going to go for 8 blocks wide, and you need 3 pieces of this one. So just take one extra, 8 blocks, 3 times 8, and of course wipe away the glue. And I think he looks then a little bit more in perspective than with 7. So I'm going to go with this, and I'm going to give it a couple of minutes rest again. In the meantime, while this is drying, we are going to get 3 blocks, and we're going to make a row of 3. Oh, you see already he's not want to do what I want. And of course, squeeze it together. We make another one of 3. Oh, I already have 4. And this one. And number 2. And number 3 is the closure up again. Squeeze it. And again, over here, wipe away the glue. Over here. And we also give this 3 a couple of minutes. So we gave our 3 pieces a couple of minutes dry. Now we can take 2 of them, and we are going to make sure that this is straight line. And you see already, I still can redo it until I am really happy how it looks like. I'm going to do some glue on one of them. We do over here, and we're going to place one on top of here, and we give it a little bit of pressure. And we feel with our fingers so we have a nice straight line, and we're going to give this a couple of minutes rest. So we gave it a couple of minutes, and you see already this is how it's turned out. We are going to paint this piece of 2 times 8 blocks on top of each other. We're going to give a nice white coat. I choose for the creamy color because I like white a little bit too white. So I'm going to go for the creamy, but of course you can do the white color. So I'm going to finish this, and I'm going to let this dry before we're going to glue everything together. So I did paint this one in the creamy color. Of course, I'm going to paint now the little black pieces in between. I'm going to do with some black schoolboard paint. Of course, making the stripes is always a little bit difficult and hard to do. So I'm just going to do my best. It is a chance that I have to paint this piece all over again. So It doesn't matter, we will see. I'm just going to try just to make a line. So I just take my time for it. I do 3 pieces, then a little space, then 2, then 3 space, and again so further and further until I'm on the end. And the end is already not really big, so we will see. I show it to you in a moment. So our keyboard is drying. What I'm going to do the 3 pieces which are left over. I'm going to get some shoe polish because I'm going to do it in a little bit of this brown color because it is an old-fashioned piano. But you can do it, of course, the piano in black, maybe white. It's just what you like. Of course, I'm going to do the underside with a little coat of brown, not too much. So over here, just wipe away what you don't need because you don't want it to have too thick layer because you still need to let the wood shine through. At least I like that. But if you like more like a glam, you can also spray paint it in the gold or maybe silver or any color you like. So I'm going to do this side and of course this side. And I'm going to do also the other 3 pieces because later we can't go there anymore or else we will damage our keyboard. So we just do it right now. So I do all the pieces and you see then the next step for our keyboard. So you see already, I have it already in the white color because it was one disaster. I tried to do it with some black paint, just make a little stripes, but it didn't work. It did get one big mess. So if you are someone who can really paint with a thin brush, then it's okay, but I am not that person, so I had to figure out what can I do to make just the simple little black line. So I was going through my stash and I found my tie wraps. I think you call them also. You can place things together with this one, you never get it loose. So these are the bigger ones, and of course if I am going to, you see already this has a nice shape in black, and of course I can cut it in any size I like. So what did I do? Of course I'm going to cut off a little piece over here, just make a nice cut over here. And of course I have to look for that I have it straight, and I'm going to very easy place it on here, measure out the length I want to have, and then I'm going to cut 9 pieces, first 9, maybe I need a little more, I don't know, but I'm starting with a 9 and I think this will look amazing. So for everyone who is just like me and is not a great painter, just take it simple, just get some tie wraps. I don't know how you call, if you call them also tie wraps, I think you call them a little different if I heard it right in different DIYs. So I'm going to look it up for you, but we call it at least tie wraps. So we are going to measure out and I'm going to glue them on top of here. So I have a couple of pieces. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to lay a couple of them over here just to look for where I want to have them. I keep a little out of the line over here. Then we're going to do 3 over here. And we're going to lay another one. Of course, it's a little bit taking of your time just to place it down the way you want to have it. Of course, we do over here. We do over here. And then we're going to do in the middle, of course, also 3. And this way. And here. And oh, he needs to come off a little like this. And then we can place in between 2 pieces over here and 2 over here. So I'm going to make a couple of extra and then I'm going to glue them on here, and I think this looks very nice. And the greatest thing is also it is a little bit of thicker structure, so it looks even more that it's laid on top of the other one. So I think I'm very happy with the tie wraps. So I have my keyboard, and of course I'm going to do now, we're going to take the last piece of 12 And we're going to, do I say that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of course, the last of 8 blocks you have laying around, and you probably already painted it. Make sure that you have the one side you didn't paint, you have on that side. Of course, we're going to do some glue over here. And we're going to place the keyboard on top over here. Going to squeeze it, press it down, and now we're going to do some glue. Of course, I have to look for the first 2 blocks. We do some glue, and we're going to place it also a little bit more over here and here. We place this on the side, and we do here the same, the first 2 blocks, and we're going to place it on the other side. We're going to squeeze it and press it together until one piece. And if you have a little bit of glue sticking out, get your brush and you just wipe it away. So I'm going to place this and let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So we're going to place our keyboard aside and let it dry. And now we're going to do our back side of our piano in, I do it in some shoe polish brown, but choose any color you like, because everyone has a different taste and of course a different decor in their home. So I'm going to go for all the way in this one in the brown color to make it really an old-fashioned piano. We have of course the base of our piano in the brown color. We are going to get 6 blocks and we're going to glue them together. So make a thin line, as thin as you can. So this way, because here it is a little bit important that we use as less glue as we can. So only over here we're going to squeeze it, give a little bit of pressure, and we make another row of 6 and another one, so we can do it in once. So we do here the same. A small line. I have to look that I have my glue, and this is one, maybe a little more. Number 2, number 3, and number 4. And you see already I do as less glue as I can, at least for my I always use too much glue. And this one, and number 3, and number 4, and number 5, and again place them together, give them a little bit of pressure, not too much. Also over here a little bit of pressure, and make a straight line. And this way now we're going to get 3 blocks, and we're going to glue them together this way, but on the tops. Just a little glue, also here as less as you can. And we're going to glue them together, give a little bit of pressure over here, and then we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So we gave it a couple of minutes. We're going to place it on the side, and you see it's not totally dry, but it doesn't matter because we want to make one piece out of it. So we do a little glue over here and here the same. Oh, we make, of course, we need a little glue, not totally nothing. So we're going to place it over here, give it a little bit of pressure, and we do here the same. And make sure that we get a nice straight line. We're going to give this also a couple of minutes drying. And now we get our 3-piece, and we do a little thin line under here, on the inside over here. And we're going to place this on the side. So again, squeeze it, give it a little bit of pressure, feel with your fingers that you have a straight line, and we're going to let this rest also. So in the meantime, while this is drying, and this, of course, I showed you also a little closer, this is the side, and of course this will be the little cover over the piano normally when you can close it, but of course we don't do that. We are going to place it aside so it can dry. We are going to get 3 blocks, and this way, and again 3 blocks because we need some feet. So we are going to glue the tops So a little over here, a little over here, and we're going to place it together. We do here the same, and here. And of course later we're going to cut off a little piece because we don't need the complete 3 blocks, but I think to 2.5. So I'm going to wipe a little of the glue away, and here the same, and we're going to let it rest for a couple of minutes. So in the meantime, while these two are drying, we are going to get, of course, our lid, of course, on our piano, and we're going to give this a nice color of the brown because we want to have it also fitting with our piano. So we are going to make this brown also, the whole piece. Of course, yeah, I do it a little bit faster. So now we're going to get our keyboard, and of course we are going to do the back side with some glue because we are going to glue this one on top of here this way. So very easy. I'm just going to do some glue on the back side, over here in the middle, and a little over here, and of course on this line a little piece, and this one. And now I hope that I have enough glue so I can place it on top of here exactly on the underside. So be sure that you place it in the middle and give it a little bit of pressure from the top, not too much. And I feel with my fingers if I have it in a straight line, and on the back side, and I'm going to give it some rest. So we gave it a couple of minutes, and you see already it looks more like a bench already. Of course we are going to glue it already on the front of the piano, but before we're going to do that we need of course some legs, and these are the legs we are going to saw out a little piece of the one of the 3 piece because we don't need the whole piece. So I'm going to place this aside, and I'm going to get, now I think I'm just going to go over and make it line, and I think maybe 2/3 I'm going to keep, and the 1/3 I'm going to go saw away. So I show you, this is the piece I'm going to cut off, this smaller piece. So I'm going to get my jigsaw and I saw it out. Of course you can use a hand saw, and some people have some cutter. You can also cut this kind of blocks. So, but I don't have that, so I'm going to get my jigsaw and cut off the 2 pieces, and then we're going to do this one in some shoe polish, and of course 2 loose blocks we are going to do in some shoe polish. Now we're going to take our back side. We take of course our loose blocks. We're going to use them as under bottom. So we're going to measure out where we want to have them. Of course I need one over here and one over here, so I'm going to measure out. I'm going to place it on top of here. I'm going to look for if I have it in a straight line, and I'm going to keep this one away, and I'm going to glue both of them over here with my wood glue. Of course I have to turn it around or else I don't see it, but it's very easy. I think it's a little bit a 1.5 block on this side and 1.5 block over to this side. So again like this, and I'm going to glue this together, and you see this is what I mean. Here the feet are already over here, and of course they're not totally dry yet, so they need a little bit of drying, but this is what I mean, and this is exactly the size of the keyboard itself. So I'm going to let this dry, and of course now I'm going to do the ones with a piece off. I'm going to do also in some shoe polish, and we're going to glue it at the ending over here and on top of here. So the of course the piece of the piano can fit on top of here. So the feet are dried in, at least almost. What I'm going to do, I was having a little piece, of course I did 2 and then 1/3 of the block. I don't like it. I find it much too high, so I'm going to go for only 2 blocks, and I'm going to glue them on top of here a little offline, a little bit backwards for the front. So I think you see already what I mean. My English sometimes is not what it's supposed to be. So I'm going to do some glue, and I'm going to glue this on top of here. So I only do here 2 blocks because or else I find it much too high. So very easy. Do some glue, a little drop over here, and I'm going to place it over here. Make sure that you have a nice straight line. And we're going to do for here the same. Do some glue, under here. And we're going to place it also the same place like we have it over here. And we're going to give it some time to dry. And you see already this is drying. In the meantime, we need, of course, two little pedals. I think you call it pendalen. We call it here in the Netherlands for your feet when you're using your piano. I'm using the smaller pieces which are left over. So I'm going to place two of them in the middle over here. Of course, I'm going to do them in the brown color also. So you see already I did the two little pieces in between, just in the middle, and leave a little space open. And now we already have our foot pedals. And the only thing what we still need to do is, of course, we need to glue our piano on top of here. So it is very easy. We just do some glue, we do some glue on the back sides, of course, over here and over here, and make sure that it's not running out. And we do a little on the top and over here. And now it's very easy. We just place it in between and we make sure that we have it in the straight line over here. And we're going to press it together. Of course, you can also lay it down just this way, and you can easily glue it and let it dry at least overnight. That's better than do it too short. So I will going to leave this overnight, and then we're going to then you see the quick impression. Of course, this is not my day for English. If you have questions and you don't know where I was talking about, just let me know in the comments. But I think everything is already saying for itself. So we are going to let this dry, and you see in a moment the quick impression. And yes, I know I told you see the quick impression, and you will, but I also wanted to show, because I was missing a little piece. I have here a little piece of cardboard, and of course I printed out a little of the music, and of course I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to glue it on top of my little tag, and we're going to place it with our piano. So in a moment you really see the quick impression. And yes, here you see finally a quick impression of my Tumbling Tile Blocks piano, and I'm so thrilled how this one turned out, especially if you imagine this is my first time. Of course, I hope you give this one also a try, because you will have so much fun decorating it in your home. So of course, take out your Tumbling Tile Blocks too. And of course, everyone who is here only for watching, I hope you had fun watching. And if you're new here, I hope you enjoyed what you saw. And if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and click the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. And of course, for more DIY inspiration, come on over to my description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels. Hope to see you there. Of course, everyone, have an amazing day, and see you in the next one. Bye!